Around the world, legends of mysterious women in white or ladies in white go back centuries, in some cases as far back in time as the medieval ages. Often referred to as a white lady, not for racial reasons, but for her attire. She is often seen in either white robes or a white nightgown, or even a wedding dress. Supernatural beliefs have occurred throughout history. People of all cultures and ethnicities have held various beliefs in spirits, ghosts, God, and the afterlife. Interestingly, various cultures and countries have developed, or depending on your own point of view, ended up with their own version of the White Lady. But no matter what country or what culture, each variation of the legend seems to share at least a few underlying themes. Themes such as tragic love stories, where a woman's life is marked by heartbreak, betrayal, or simple unrequited love. Often a woman was murdered by her unfaithful lover and is said to now roam the earth looking for unfaithful men to punish. Some White Lady legends involve a woman dealing with infidelity by killing her own children to get revenge on her unfaithful husband and then committing suicide. Now her soul roams the earth in search of the very children whom she herself murdered. One can assume that she'll never find them because they've moved on to the afterlife, while she remains earthbound. Some White Lady legends are linked to historical figures, such as noblewomen, royalty, or even queens and matriarchs. The tragic or mysterious circumstances of their lives might possibly result in their soul unable to move on, and they become a wandering lady in white. White Lady myths often tend to be linked to a specific haunted location or landmark, where ghost stories and eerie experiences have become part of local folklore. From the UK, there is the White Lady of Willow Park. This woman in white is thought to be the tormented spirit of a bride who was drowned in the lake by her husband on their wedding night. Hispanic cultures speak of La Llorona, also known as the Weeping Woman. Popular in both North and South America, this myth speaks of a beautiful woman by the name of Maria, who drowned her children in order to be with the man she loved. He rejected her, so she drowned herself in a lake in Mexico City. Unable to enter heaven, as it is believed, Maria was forced to wander the earth for all eternity to search for her murdered young. Legend says she will cry, which translates to, "Oh my children." In some versions, La Llorona will kidnap children who disobey their parents, or snatch up wandering children who resemble her own. People who claim to have seen her say she only appears at night near rivers or lakes in Mexico. It is also believed that those who hear her weeping are marked for death. Her endless weeping is what gives her the name, La Llorona. Here in the US, we have many White Lady legends. The Headless Bride of Yellowstone National Park haunts the Old Faithful Inn. As the story goes, she and her husband were on a trip to Yellowstone. Supposedly, he gambled away all their money. When his new bride was refused a loan from her father, the husband responded by beheading his wife and then fleeing the scene. The ghostly lady only haunts the old house, as that was the only Old Faithful Inn structure that was built when she was alive. Of course, one of the most popular types of woman in white stories that can be told of across the US and even the world are where someone picks up a female hitchhiker, often in a white dress or gown, on some rural road in a sparsely populated area, and either she asks to be dropped off in some isolated place or she just disappears while still in the passenger seat. Generally, the driver calls the authorities at a certain point to report the incident out of concern, only for the authorities to say that they get a call like that every year on that date, or every time it's storming heavily, or by some other marker or measure of time. One outlying legend that came across my research was about a woman in a purple dress. A purple lady, one could say. This tale takes place on a typical stormy night. A man picks up a young woman in a rain-soaked purple dress to give her a ride home. She gives him an address to take her to, and the driver allows her to wear his jacket for the time being so she can warm up. As they're going down the road, she suddenly disappears while the car is in motion, taking with her the driver's jacket. He goes to the address she had given him. There he found a much older couple. He asked them about this young woman. They explained that their beloved daughter died in a car accident on prom night 30 years prior. And on stormy nights like this one, she tries to get back home, but is never able to. Clearly, this driver was not the first to grace the old couple with his presence, claiming to have encountered their daughter. The couple tell him where she's buried, and the next day he goes to her grave, and there he finds his missing jacket. Lady in White tales have inspired many stories and works of fiction throughout time. The pilot episode of the long-running television show Supernatural dealt with the concept of a woman in white, a ghost who murdered the men who would dare to pick her up on the road. The infamous La Llorona legend inspired a movie in the Conjuring universe, named after the legend herself. Even I myself have been inspired by my own White Lady experience, as well as the legends in general, and am developing my own fictitious story, The Ghoul Girl. As with any subject in the paranormal, belief or disbelief in White Lady stories will run the spectrum from complete non-believers to those who believe every tale. Most likely, probably lie somewhere in the middle. Where do you fall on the subject of the woman in white?